So cool. All right. Hi everyone. How's actually? Let me just check if I can make this into a gallery view. Even better. All right, great. Hi guys. Nice to meet you all today. Thanks again
Hi, Ali.
for me.
Hey Ali, nice to meet you.
You guys too. All right, so guys, let's get tucked in. First of all, congratulations. Actually, I'll take off my glasses. First of all, congratulations. It's absolutely. I've watched it, and I watched the first series as well. I think it's absolutely amazing. And I
Oh,
just
nice.
Oh, great.
for that. First of all, Tuesday Afternoon Kitchen. Just for those that don't know, I just thought we could just sort of go over, what Tuesday Night Kitchen is. Dan, if you could just start off with that, and then and then we'll take it from there.
Okay, so Tuesday Afternoon Kitchen is a satirical spoof of your traditional daytime TV chat show. So I guess it's a combination of Saturday Kitchen on Saturday mornings, This Morning a bit, and Sunday Brunch. That's probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah, because I saw that. I felt like I saw those elements in Tuesday Afternoon Kitchen as well. Where did with what I wanted to see, what I wanted to ask next was, sorry guys, I'm just checking my questions at the same time. Hold on. So Tom and Howard, quick question for you both. How did you guys get involved with Dan for Tuesday Afternoon Kitchen? Tom, we'll start with you, if that's okay.
Sure. So Dan has written many really great sitcoms, which I encourage you to check out, by the way. And Dan was promoting one of these sitcoms on a TV show that I used to present for here in Cardiff in South Wales. And I don't know, Dan must have seen something in me and you thought, well, he's a nice guy. I might be able to use him at some point. And then approached you with this idea for Tuesday Afternoon Kitchen, in a nutshell being about a spoof of a daytime TV show where one presenter is like the main anchor and then the other presenter is a recovering alcoholic that's reviewing soft drinks. I just thought, that sounds fun. Let's do that. That sounds great. But that was really where it came from. So my background is both as an actor and as a presenter. So I suppose that's a win-win for what Dan is looking for on this particular project.
Dan, did you meet Tom when he was presenting the Crunch Cardiff? And is it true that when he was he doing an interview with you about, I think, a film or like one of your projects, that's where you decided, I would really like to see Tom as, playing Simon, in this series?
Well, I hadn't written Tuesday Afternoon Kitchen yet. So that's like 4 years ago now. But then the thing of it was, when I had the idea for it, I thought we're going to need one hell of an actor to be able to play it convincingly. To not only be able to play a presenter, because it's quite a difficult thing to play. It's not straightforward. And then be able to express those emotions of being annoyed and being quite stressed out and all the rest of it. And I remember sitting on the set and just looking at him thinking, this guy's really he's a mixture of everything. He's like an actor, he's a presenter, this guy. And it made an impression. As soon as I wrote the show, I mean, I think I wasn't even finished writing it. And I texted him, I said, look, if I write this, I'm basically writing it for you. Do you want to do it? And he said, yes, thankfully. But we did. That's how we met on the Cardiff Crunch.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I suppose from my perspective as well, is I don't, obviously Simon is a character, as in like any character that an actor would play, but I kind of like the fact that with the presenting background, I'm really trying to make it believable in that he is a presenter, not just a parody character of a presenter, so that it has some kind of believability. So it's a really fine line between playing the comedy and playing it as this character Simon, and also making it believable in a sense that he's a real presenter. So it's a bit of a mix there.
Excellent. Howard, to bring you in, how did you how was your relationship with Dan made? Did Dan contact you? Did you contact Dan?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's been pestering me for years to work with him, but the money was never good enough, and quite frankly, the material wasn't funny enough. So I said, get your act together. and pay me a decent wage, and maybe then we can talk about it. And that's what he did.
Yeah.
Obviously, with
No,
COVID,
I think
it was
what
the
happened
perfect.
was I didn't know Dan, and we sort of found each other through a very old friend of mine who said that Dan was looking for someone, and then I got the breakdown, and it was sort of similar to something I'd done in the past. And I sent something to Dan, and he got straight back to me, and we just sort of hit it off, actually. Then we did the web series, which was a lot of fun. It was very, very hot. It was like 37 degrees or something like that when we were filming. And
was it a studio, or was it like just during summertime? Is that why it was so hot, or?
yeah, it was in the middle of the summer. We were actually filming in Cyprus, in this sort of big metal barn of a studio, and it was just boiling. But the three of us got on really, really well, and then they started getting good feedback from the web series. And then Dan said, "Look, okay, we're going to do like a regular series." He wrote 4 episodes. We did it. Amazon obviously very happy with it. They just commissioned another season. So it looks like we're going to be working together again. Damn it.
Well, you know, with Amazon, I'm glad you brought in Amazon Prime, because congratulations, Dan, Howard, and Tom, because that's absolutely amazing. The fact that it's gone from a Facebook Live, from a web series, all the way now to Amazon Prime. You know, Dan, how do you feel about that? And guys, I'll ask you that in a minute as well.
Relieved, because it's got an audience now. I mean, the Facebook audience is so different to Amazon. You know, the Facebook audience is basically people that are watching a few seconds or maybe a minute or two. With Amazon, people are sitting down at home in front of their TVs, pressing play, and hopefully, usually watching it to the end of the episode and watching another. So we couldn't, with the web series, we couldn't distribute that on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
It's not long enough. They wouldn't accept it. So we had to, I guess really the web series was a way of testing the water to see whether there was an audience for it and the characters. And luckily there was. And that, yeah, so to put it onto the big screen, as it were, is not the big screen, but a bigger screen, is cool.
With Amazon, when you mentioned that you had to make it a lot longer, was that in terms of like how long did you have to make it for? I mean, how long was it? Like, did you have to bulk it up to like half an hour to an hour, or? Yeah,
so they will only accept long form TV. And the minimum for that is, I think, 22 minutes. So our episodes range from 23 minutes to 26 minutes each. Yeah, that's the criteria for Amazon.
Was that a bit challenging in a way, because you had to sort of bulk it up a little bit? Or did you feel like, no, we're just going to have more fun just now in 23, 26 minutes?
It's actually, the episodes, they go so quick. We film them in real time. We shoot the episodes in real time, with exception to a couple of issues we had a couple of times. But we shoot them as they happen. So yeah, getting up to that magic 23, 24 minutes is easy. Once the characters start chatting and dismissing and arguing and complaining, we're up to that mark already.
With Tom, Rupert, I'm going to bring you guys back in. Do you, like, you know, Dan as well, I'll bring you in this. This is a question for all three of you. So, you know, when you've got like now these characters that you've got, like, you know, Simon, and now you've got Rupert as well. Did you base these on anyone like in real life, or did you? Was there any sort of freedom to like add improvisation to it so you can make it more bulky and give it your own feel? I just wanted to know a little bit more about that.
I mean, obviously Dan wrote Simon and Rupert. He'll talk to you about the inspirations behind that, but certainly for me, I've said this before, I feel like Simon is an extension of me as a presenter anyway. Just me sort of turned up in the extreme. I'm quite, I like things done properly. I like things done in a certain way, and Simon is very much that kind of person. And I think he's at a stage in his career where he's kind of maybe a little bit jaded and a bit disappointed that, you know, all he's amounted to is this cookery show with this guy who used to be an alcoholic, you know, and that's clearly frustrating for him. I can relate to that a little bit too. But certainly, yeah, I think Dan's obviously mentioned that, you know, you sort of wrote it with me in mind, but I don't know, Dan, maybe you could be a bit more flattering about my career thus far and say that it was based on somebody else entirely.
Yeah, it was based on someone completely different. With the character of Simon, it's not really based on anyone specifically. It's it's kind of an amalgamation of frustrated presenters, but I mean, no one gets as visibly annoyed as Simon does on screen and dismissing characters and, you know, probably being a little bit too honest. But where Rupert's character is concerned, he's a mix of many people in my life that I've known. You know, like I had this teacher at school who was a raging alcoholic, and at my school that was quite a common thing.
Yeah.
You know, sort of you'd be doing a lesson, and the teacher would sort of pull out a drink and knock it back and then put it back in the drawer, and then that was totally normal at my school.
Wow.
I've got to be careful because one of my teachers is actually on my Facebook, but it's true anyway. It's true. That's what I'd like to say.
What was the name of that teacher?
Don't know. It's completely slipped out of my brain.
Yeah.
I'll message it to you.
I think what is really nice working with Dan is that he sort of puts a lot of trust in you, and he gives you a free rein. So, you know, you feel that you can expand and you can play with stuff without having someone on your back all the time. And it's just a nice way of working, actually.
We don't have a script consultant. We don't. And I don't think we'd want to either, because we've done that before with a script consultant where I did a show called Spirit Breaker a few years ago, and we had a script consultant. And actually the actors can get it can make things tiring. I mean, that's a sitcom though. That's a scripted sitcom.
Yeah.
And you do kind of need it, but you're having to cut a lot because people are not sticking to their lines. So, you know, when you've been shooting all week from 5 a.m. till 10 at night, and you're right close to getting something done, and then script consultant steps in and says, you got your lines wrong, you got to do it again. Whereas all I do literally with this is I write it, give it to them, and then before we're about to shoot each episode, I will say, you know, how you feeling about it? That's it. I think we maybe cut twice, 3 times, but normally for a technical issue because of the way we make the show.
I want to move on to highlights of the show. What's been your most memorable or favorite part or scene or drink? So, for example, there's a drink. Hold on, let me just scroll down. There was a drink. Hang on a moment. Yeah. So let's start with that. Yeah. So favorite scene, favorite moment within within the series. Rupert, sorry, not Rupert. Howard, let's start with you.
Okay.
I've phoned him up and called him Rupert before, I'm sure.
Yeah. And your son has as well.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's all a lot of fun, actually, I suppose. But, I mean, the Tuna Boona, there was a really, it was a funny episode to film. But also, episode 4 was also a funny one with Verona Rose. It just got bizarre. It just got really bizarre. And I think...
Like, how bizarre did it get?
Well, you'll have to tune in to find out how bizarre it actually got. But I tell you what, Ali, I get the feeling that as we progressed from episode to episode, our sort of interaction, playing with each other, and I know it got better. We were having more fun with it, and maybe more relaxed with it as well. Although, I mean, the set is pretty relaxed anyway. But I think the series gets better. Actually, I think it gets better, and it gets more bizarre.
Now, what
exactly?
Now, how bizarre would you like it to be? Like, have there been any have you guys planned what you want to see next? Like, what sort of new drinks or what sort of new giveaways? Because I heard there's a giveaway you guys have given that was called the National Middle-Aged Men Who Don't Drive Day. So that made me laugh.
Do you not celebrate that, Ali?
Huh?
Do you not celebrate that particular
No, I
national
might.
holiday? It's a big one in my house. I can
Give it
tell
a couple more years. I think I'll start celebrating it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I like the idea. I mean, there's a lot of holidays, isn't there? You know, there's a lot of, I mean, you know, you put the radio, you drive in the car in the morning, you put the radio on, there's some kind of day that it is. And I just feel like men are overlooked a fair bit in certain things, not too many things, of course. But I thought it'd be nice to give them their own day. And then the men who don't drive. I always feel there's a bit of stigma attached to that. So
did you actually, Jan, did you check? Did you check to see if that actually exists?
I did, and it doesn't. Because I thought that. Yeah, there's a lot of fact checking because you're constantly worried someone's done it already. And it's like the tuna boona. Howard was saying earlier today that someone did make a recipe for a tuna boona. And thankfully, it was wildly unpopular.
But anyway, that must be amazing in a way. The fact that, you know, once it does catch on with your series, and it does catch a popularity, that actually you are the guys who actually put the idea out there. I mean, even if you've made up the one where it's like, Don't Drive Day, for example, like, you know, how do you feel about that? If those become like national holidays or like celebrated days?
What was really funny the other night is that when you put the content out on the Facebook platform, people share it and then they share it amongst their friends. Once someone shares it with a friend, the comments go onto their wall and not the Tuesday Afternoon Kitchen official page. And the other night, a couple of nights ago, someone I don't know had said, episode 3 of this new comedy's out. Mm-hmm. And I scrolled down and it said, oh, I saw it yesterday. And then someone said, oh, I'm making a tuna boona tomorrow. And then someone's underneath said, on National Men Who Don't Drive Day. So funny because those things have got into... and then Howard got a call a couple of weeks ago and said that someone phoned him up and said that the new phrase in their house was, it's got me by the balls and it won't let go. And, you know, it's great because you come up with all these isms and silliness and before you know it, people say it to you. Or you see it written in a conversation that you're not party to. That's a little bit surreal, actually, when you see it when you're not even involved in the conversation.
I also had a very old school friend contact me who I'd not been in contact with for years. And he said the new phrase in their house is having a Tommy tank while watching, what was it? We were watching
Cash in the Attic?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. It's great. I mean, that's
whatever that means. I don't understand it myself.
No, of course not. No.
Dan,
sorry, I want to pick up. I'm taking over now, but I want to pick up your point about seeing your material elsewhere. It's really interesting, though, about like something that you've created and you've put out there, and now it's like independent of the people around you speaking about it. It's not about like actors and crew talking about it, but the other people that are discussing it. That is kind of really strange, isn't it?
It is weird, yeah, because people, when people have the conversations amongst themselves, they don't appear on the post. It appears on there, and you've got to delve quite deeply into Facebook to see it. But it seems to have a bit of a demographic. The show seems to appeal to people, of certain age groups. But then you can't really. I mean, it seems to be very popular between 18 and 24-year-olds, and then it's also really popular between sort of 45 and 55. But I was looking at something the other day where people were talking about it's the Brexit episode, and someone
episode 2.
Yeah, episode 2, and the character Chaz Chastity, who's the show's travel expert, goes on holiday, and all he does is complain about don't drink the water, don't eat the food, don't put anything in the safe, because if you do, the bellboy will be in and will rob you in your sleep. And the comments on this thing are like, this is spot on. This guy knows what he's talking about. I won't be going on holiday this year. I don't know about anybody else. And this woman underneath said, when he's talking about making sure that you take a rape alarm out with you, that he's got his head screwed on there. What a good idea. I'll do that next time I go on holiday. And all this stuff. And it's like, you know, what madness. You're going on holiday, all these thousands of miles, you go away somewhere, and then the first thing you do is take all your English food with you. Unfortunately, there are a fair few people who do that. It's not entirely weird.
And lastly, like, Dan, where would you like to, I mean, with the popularity, would you like to ever see it come onto like national TV, like for example, on Channel 4 or like BBC or ITV, for example? And then like also set like trends on like Twitter and Instagram and etc. all in within one go sort of thing. Like with like, for example, with the days that you come up or with like the drinks you come up with or the foods or etc. Do you know what I mean?
I would love to see National Men Who Don't Drive Day become a public holiday, and there'd be some kind of, you know, relief for people who don't drive. I always find it ridiculous because it's a choice you make, isn't it? You're not going to drive the car.
Yeah.
You know, it's not poor you. It's not this poor disenfranchised group of people. These are people who've actively made a decision not to drive. So why do they get their own day of the year? But that is what happens. There's a day dedicated to people who've just made life choices.
How do you even celebrate that? Like, would they even just be like sitting in the car just posing, saying, "I'm actually not going to drive today"?
Yeah. Well, it's not people who make the choice not to drive today. It's men specifically who have not gone through the rigmarole of getting a driver's license to drive a car. So these people are unable to drive.
And maybe you could just sit in a car, in a driver's seat of a car, and drink a lot of alcohol.
Yeah.
Great idea.
While your partner calls the police, and
yeah.
Oh, guys, amazing. Guys, I'm going to end it there because we've got another interview coming up. Thanks again for talking to me so much. Who knows, maybe with Howard's character, Rupert, maybe, with Don't Drive Day, maybe you can have him like sip some wine maybe, or like some fruit juice or something, like, or like a fizzy drink in like a car.
Yeah, but he doesn't drink, Ali. He really doesn't drink. He just has the odd squash.
Oh, does he? Oh, well,
God, squash.
I don't know what you were thinking of.
Maybe I was just thinking of a future episode, maybe an idea. Never mind, all good. Fruit squashes for the day. Good stuff. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for talking to me. Congratulations once again, Dan.
Thanks very much, Ali.
Thanks, Ali.
Thank you, Ali.
You're very welcome.
Nice talking to you, mate.
Hopefully I'll talk to you again soon, before the next season and stuff.
Absolutely. Have a good day. Thanks for your time, Ali.
Welcome. See you soon. Bye,
Cheers.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.